Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Let's Try Surviving Mars. So, we have played Surviving Mars before, had a good time with it, and who were we playing as? I think we were playing as Paradox? Maybe India. I know we had a lot of people, but one of the problems with Surviving Mars before is it was a little bit stale. There were large moments, not much going on. You got your initial colony up and running, and then it was just kind of just moving along. But with this expansion, they have added a bunch of things. So let me just bring up their Steam page. We have got narrative events. Experience narrative events throughout your colonization process that can help reveal the realities of life in the dome and challenge your management skills. Unique vehicles and buildings, and this is the thing which really interests me. Each sponsor has their unique vehicle and building that only their colonies can construct and take advantage of in their mission. Express the individuality of your spacefaring conglomerate inside and out of your domes. There are new mission sponsors. Meet two new players in the fight for the final frontier. Japan and Brazil are now available as brand new mission sponsors and ready to move Heaven and Mars to make their mark. There are unique goals and rewards. Each sponsor will task you with a unique set of goals to complete your mission. Will the team back on Earth lead you to prosperity, profit, or progress? And last but not least, rival colonies. Compete for milestones and anomalies with several other AI colonies backed by rival sponsors attempting to becoming this planet's superpower. You can trade with, respond to distress calls for, issue distress calls to, and even steal important colonies from these competitor colonies as you establish your territory on Mars. So there are now other AI players on the planet as well, which you can interact with. Now, I have not had a chance to play this yet. I have not watched any content for Surviving Mars with this update, so this stuff is all going to be brand new and fresh and interesting. Hey, Midge, how you doing? And Mike and newbies, how you all doing? So, first thing is first, we're just on the main screen here. Just wanted to take a look at the mission sponsors as I was loading up. So we have the two new ones. We have Brazil, which is normal difficulty. They start with 5 billion in funding, 100 starting applicants, 100 research per soul, rare metals, price 35 million. So far, so normal. They get large supply pods, a special supply pod that can carry more cargo, so their rockets can carry more stuff, I think. And then the rare metals refinery, and this is where it gets interesting, because this is one of the unique buildings. Rare metals refinery turns waste rock into rare metals. You generate a lot of waste rock. And being able to turn that into rare metals sounds ridiculous, because rare metals are the main way of earning more cash as the game goes on. They also have colonist grant funding when they arrive on the Mars. Passages, that's the little tunnels, cost no resources and are constructed instantly, so I'm already kind of liking Brazil just from the off. And colonists suffer no penalties when using passages to work or visit connected domes. So usually if you're going to a connected dome, you suffer like a -5 efficiency or something like that. But these guys from Brazil apparently don't. And then they also get 5 free large supply pods. So actually the large supply pods, that's a vehicle, isn't it? It's not a rocket. I wonder if that's like the drone. That's like an upgraded drone almost. Alright, let's watch Mordred kill some people on Mars. Hey, Katie. Then we also have Japan. They are new. They are also... Oh, no, they're not also. They are hard. Starting funding is 6 billion. Starting applicants only 50, which is very low. Research per soul 100, rare metals price 20. So they actually make a lot less money than Brazil does, and Brazil has the rare metals refinery. Okay. They get the Wasp drone, which is a faster flying drone. So yeah, that was the vehicle. They have an automatic metals extractor, which is a metal extractor that doesn't require a workforce. And that is very nice. Like, one of the early problems is getting access to metal and manning it. Like, the early domes that you set up are mostly going to be about food and generating metal. So if you have an automatic one, you're going to require less population. Rovers cost and weight lowered by 50%. Exploring a sector grants research points. All specialists perform better, plus 10 performance. However, you have less applicants being generated, so that is their downside. Now, all of these guys have their own unique vehicles and buildings. So let's just go through those real quick. So the International Mars mission has the Zeus rocket, which increases the rocket's payload to 70,000 kilograms, which I think normally is 50,000, so that's a fairly chunky increase. The advanced Stirling generator generates power and can protect from cold waves. So I think the Stirling generator is the one that opens and closes, depending on how much dust there is, and it also generates heat, which is kind of cool. And I think the other stuff is just the same. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. The USA also gets the Zeus rockets. They have the increased payload. They have the advanced orbital probe, which scans 5 sectors at once instead of just the 1, so you get a lot better vision on what is on the ground. They have a mega mall, which is a service building that satisfies most interests. So rather than needing a doctor and a video games and a casino and a restaurant, you just have a mega mall and that's like everything. Probably not as good. And they also get periodic additional funding. You have the Blue Sun Corporation, which is the RC harvester. Transport a rover that can harvest concrete from regolith deposits. That sounds new. Regoliths, I mean. And they have a corporate office which employs workers and generates funding. So on the planet, you have a thing which just gets you money, and you can in fact buy additional applicants with money. Rockets are significantly cheaper. Probes can discover deep rare metal deposits, and then you also get a bonus tech which is deep metal extraction. I'm pretty sure those are normal. RC generator, RC commander that can generate power as a solar panel. So the commander is the drone hub, the mobile drone hub, which also generates power. Okay. The Tai Chi garden, small exercise garden. Visitors recover small amounts of health and may become fit. So, better working people, I guess. India gets the RC constructor, transport rover that can construct buildings. That's really good. So one of the problems that I had playing was trying to build new expansions. It's very difficult to have these kind of unconnected outposts. Having an RC constructor, you would be able to do that. And I've just realised I really need some tea because, man, I'm coughing a lot. He says holding a glass of water because I really needed that drink and I still need to sort my tea supply. Supply pods are one-use deliveries that only cost 100k. Okay, gotcha. And you start with 5 of them. So I guess that's rockets which basically don't return but just give you a bunch of materials and stuff. Hey, Lausman. Damn it, Mord. I'm supposed to be sleeping now. Sorry. Totally not sorry. But seriously, if you have stuff to do tomorrow and you need to sleep, don't forget there's just the video on demand, so you can always watch that tomorrow. But it's always nicer, of course, having people here live. I've just got all of my D&D stuff stacked up here. I was playing D&D until like 10 minutes before the stream. I was like, I really gotta go, guys. I'm sorry. Which also means I have none of my names. So... I'm trying to think what I was actually naming before. I know I was naming random people. Might still do that, we'll see. I just need to go behind the green screen. Because there is a world beyond that. And grab that stuff. Europe. They get RC Seeker, RC Commander that works as a sensor tower when stationary. Interesting. Which will allow you to sense stuff like further out. And it will also protect you from natural disasters. So you can basically, it's a mobile tower. Low-G Lab, a research building that is built outside domes and reduces the cost of biotech and physics techs. Nice, but Europe already generates an awful lot of research, so not entirely sure that's required. And they also start with better, or more, starting techs. Space Y. Dragon Rocket has a smaller cargo capacity but is faster and requires less fuel, so there are more trips going on. And the Solar Array, a large cluster of solar panels that have a lower maintenance cost but are vulnerable to dust storms. That sounds really nice, because a lot of the space that you take up is going to be solar panels. They are the main source of power. So the Solar Array there would definitely help. Church of the New Ark, the Ark Pod, a supply pod that can carry passengers instead of people, instead of cargo. The Temple Spire, a service spire that satisfies social interests and restores sanity to visitors. So one thing which I didn't really have a problem with was insanity. Whoever I was playing with had the... No, my commander was a therapist, I think, which stopped people going crazy, so we didn't have insanity issues. All colonists have the religious trait. Birth rate is doubled and hydroponic farms performance reduced by 50%. Russia has the RC Driller, a special rover which can extract resources from underground deposits but wastes some of the deposit. Okay. Concrete plant, an automated extractor that produces concrete without the need of a deposit but consumes fuel. So once all of the concrete deposits are gone, or if you start in an area with no concrete deposits, then you can do that. They also get a bonus tech, which is fueled extractors. Extractor upgrade that boosts production but consumes fuel. And the fuel refinery prefab is cheaper. Okay. Paradox! They get the Jumper Shuttle, which is a faster shuttle that uses parabolic trajectories. So shuttles are how you move people around, I think. I don't think I got to the stage where I was using shuttles before. I was using drones to move stuff, but not people. They're a game developer, so they produce games which grant funding depending on their success. Okay. And then Japan we saw before. Now I managed. There's free coffee at work, fair enough. Yes, you basically load them up like a rocket, but not as much space. You disassemble it when it lands to get some extra stuff. Okay, cool. Hey, 94th man. I'm indeed having a good Thursday. Except this cold is getting worse and worse. So I must warn you in advance, there are going to be frequent stops for me blowing my nose, coughing, getting a drink, because this really knocked me out today. So I'm kind of glad that this stream is only 3 hours rather than the usual 4. So, who should we start as? I think what I'm going to do is create a poll of the ones that appeal to me the most. Then you guys can make that particular decision, and I will leave the poll up while we go through the leader choices, and I'll see if there's anything new there. So, which sponsor? I'm going to say USA is going to be the easy option. India was one that I like the look of. I think I might well have been India before. Yeah, all the building costs reduced by 20% because I liked building the buildings. And also the low G engineering, starting with that was super helpful because the medium domes are really quite solid. Europe, because research is always good. Space Y, little less interested in that one. Brazil, because it's a new one, we'll choose Brazil. We'll add that to the list. Church of the New Ark, just the fact that farming is slower and you have more population doesn't appeal. Russia didn't appeal that much. Paradox, because it's frickin' Paradox, sure. And then Japan, because they are also new. So they are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different choices. So let's go and create that poll. Copy, paste, put that poll here. So, let me know what you think. If you can't remember what each one does, then tough. No, I'll answer questions if we need to. Alright, so commander profiles. We can be a city mayor, which is additional funding. This feels new, this guy. Buildings require upkeep less often. And we start with Mars Nouveau. Building costs in metals and concrete are reduced by 20%. So Mars Nouveau plus India equals super cheap buildings. I kind of like that. Inventor, drones are gradually optimized to work and construct faster until Sol 100. I don't think I had... Oh no, drones are the movie around picking stuff up, guys. Shuttles move people and stuff. Right, I did have shuttles right at the end of my last playthrough. I was just going to say, if that was shuttles which are gradually optimized to work and construct faster, then that's something else. Autonomous hubs, drone hubs no longer require power or maintenance. That one is nice. Especially if we have autonomous hubs with the constructor rovers. Because then we can just build hubs just in the middle of nowhere and get all the resources from that. And then we can just drop rockets in those locations to pick up the stuff that they're producing. Could be good. Especially if we then connect them with shuttles. Fuel production increased by 25%. Arcology unlocks a residential spire. Yeah. Hydro engineer starts with a water deposit revealed. It's not that hard to find water. Doctor, minimum comfort required for birth load by 15. And we also have STEM reconstruction. Lifespan is increased. Psychologist, this is the one that we had. Colonists recover sanity when resting in their homes. Behavioral shaping. Unlocks a sanatorium spire which treats colonist flaws. Politician increases funding. So politician plus USA or Europe or one of the high funding people, or politician plus Brazil. Exporting the rare metals produced by the waste refinery thing could earn a lot of money. Brazil plus politician there. And also the Martian patents repeatable tech that grants funding. Nice, because we did run out of funding. Well, very nearly ran out of funding before. Futurist, breakthrough techs are researched 30% faster. Autonomous sensors, sensor towers no longer require power and maintenance. Ecologist, service comfort of decorations increased by 10. I seem to remember the only decorations I used were statues, so I'm not really sure the ecologist would affect those. And then Hanging Gardens unlocks a spire which improves residence in the dome. Okay, so you could have a Hanging Gardens dome in the center and then connect it to the work and the other stuff. So that would be really good for the residences. Astrogeologists start with a rare metal deposit revealed. Extractive production increased by 10. That's nice. And then deep scanning allows the scanning of sectors for deep deposits. But I think that's a thing you can research eventually anyway. And then rocket scientists, you start with an extra rocket, CO2, jet propulsion, unlock shuttle hub and long-range transportation from the start. Okay. So rocket scientist plus whoever it was that had the remote control constructor could also be good. So what country did I choose? I have not yet chosen. Have you guys been voting? Yes. Yes, you have. Right, I'm going to put this in chat one more time. Make sure you get those votes in. Let me know what nation you want me to play as. And then, depending on the nation, I will probably pick one of the starting commander types. This is coming in at 40% with URP. Oh, no, it's changed again. Now URP and Japan are joint first with 33. And I'm going to take a moment to blow my nose. Alright, I think that you guys have had enough time now. So URP is coming in first place with 38%. So we're going to be playing as Europe. So mission sponsor Europe, so we're going to have loads of technology, a decent amount of money. We have the RC commander, that's sensor tower, less enthused about that. We're just tech, we're just so much technology. Then the Low G lab is a research building built outside domes and reduces the cost of biotech and physics techs. Right, commander profile. I do like the idea of Mars and Nouveau. Although again, it's a technology we're likely to get. I guess this is more of a choice of which technology do we want to start with. Politician plus Europe would be good. Or Futurist. Breakthrough techs are researched 30% faster because we get a bonus with Breakthrough. Sensor towers no longer require power or maintenance. Less useful considering our bonus. Japan is first now, really? I mean, I'm happy to switch. Yep, Japan is now first. Okay, we're going to go Japan. Until someone chooses someone else before I press play. Alright, so Japan is faster flying drones. Okay, and metal extractor that doesn't require a workforce. However, we get less applicants. So I think we probably want a commander which will get the most out of the applicants that we do have. So I'm wondering if a psychologist or the doctor. Damn it, Europe's now drawing again. You've had your chance. I'm playing as Japan, they're new, they're interesting. I have actually played as Europe before, very, very briefly. We could do the Inventor plus Japan, which would mean our drones are better optimized. Although I've not really had a problem with drones, because they're quite cheap to build and to import. So Doctor, I think, is going to be the one that's the most useful. It means we get more children, which means we don't need to rely so much on applications. And also, STEM reconstruction means colonist lifespans are longer. We're going to go with the Doctor. Alright, the mystery is going to be random. I'm not even going to look at those because I haven't seen that many of them. And then rivals. And we can choose who they are, but we're definitely having a paradox. Because it's paradox. We're also going to have a Europe. Because I think it's only right that we have a Europe. And then a Space Y. There we go. Those are our rivals. And then game rules. Tech variety. Tech fields are randomized during different playthroughs of the same map. Unlike the Chaos Theory, some technologies are guaranteed to appear early or late. Nah. That'll do. Okay, next. So, the first rocket is going to be called... Alright, I'm going to have to get the names out. Let me just go and put my D&D books away. And then go and grab the other names. Be right back. Okay, I think the rockets are going to be named after patrons. Because the rockets are things that we're going to be seeing constantly. So this is going to be Serve Mers. And we're going to go with Charles. That's the first rocket. Remember, you only get one rocket as Japan, so rocket scientists might be good. You can also buy more rockets. Having 2 is kind of useful. I think 3 is a bit overkill. So I'll probably go with 2. Okay, so what do we want to begin with? Prefab buildings. We definitely want a drone hub. Moisture evaporator in the first line? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, water is required. Fuel refinery we definitely need fuel. Yeah, okay. Fuel is produced from water, so we definitely want water. And then Stirling generator. Not convinced we need a Stirling generator, actually. That will save me a lot of money. And then later on, we'll get the factories. Oh, that's new. Pretty sure there didn't used to be a small machine parts factory. In fact, there's a small version of everything except for the polymer. Oh, it's because the polymer is outside, of course. Oh, that's really handy. Because in the smaller domes, having one of these factories would like take up half of your dome. It's kind of ridiculous. In the first shipment, I don't think we need any of those. RC Commander. Having 2 of those is good. I would quite like to have an RC transport. So maybe I'll take 1 less of those. 1 more transport. Oh, wasp drone, hang on. Automated flying drone controlled by a drone hub, rocket, or RC commander. Oh, those are the drones themselves. Which we do want more of. We're not taking any concrete, no metals, no food. We are taking some of these materials. Metals we can harvest when we're there. Food we have no colonies, so it doesn't matter. Concrete we can harvest when we're there. Hey, colonies. They won't. They take less people, do less per day, but are smaller. Yeah, that sounds perfect. I like the idea of having these smaller factories. That's awesome. So how many drones does this guy come with? I think it comes with like 10. And then 2 probes. We still have 4 billion in the bank. I think this is good. This is good, I like it. Right, what are these? These are preset locations, I think. This is so Mass Effect. I do like playing in places with lots of resources, but I also quite like having lots of bad things happening. Cold waves... I mean, we could go somewhere in like the Arctic where we get maximum everything. Like that. No, I want a place with more metals. I mean, this is good for having resources. So lots of dust storms, not so many dust devils, lots of meteors and no cold waves. I mean, this does... The difficulty challenge is actually pretty high. You will need to reset your key bindings. For some reason it overlapped the new ones on the old ones. Hey? Cold waves are just dumb, they don't make the game harder, just more time consuming. Yeah, cold waves I'm not that fussed about. I think I would like a place with high levels of meteor strikes, because those do make it more interesting. That would be quite a bad spot. That would be really good for Russia. So right here, Russia. No concrete, lots of everything else. Also, other important thing is buildable space, relatively flat. Oh, lots of resources here. Relatively flat. What's that one? Right, is there anywhere with more concrete? More metals? There. Lots of cold waves though. I never know. Let's just pick one of these and say, okay, which is the most interesting. That one sounds a bit too easy. That one's good for resources and meteors. This one's looking quite good. That one's just maximum cold waves. So that's basically the easy mode. Dust devils and metals and concrete and water, actually. You know what? I quite like the sound of this one. Is this one of those games you spend 3 hours designing your character, building your world before you actually start playing the game? Not really 3 hours, like this is the last step of the important stuff. After this we really get down into construction and building. What I'd really like is a place with maximum metals. Ooh. Ooh. I like this. This is a good spot. Maximum resources. Quite a few dust storms, quite a few meteors, dust devils, and no stuff there. Relatively flat. Let's do this. That sounds good. Oh, I don't think I bothered resetting any of the top key bindings.
Welcome to Mars.
Welcome to Mars. Everyone at Mission Control is impatient to see the rocket touching down and unloading its precious cargo. Our remotely controlled eyes and hands on the red planet, the drones and the rovers. Our goal is to secure a foothold for humanity by building the first Martian dome. This daunting endeavour will allow the brave pioneers, the founders, to settle on Mars and prove that the colony is sustainable. But until then, we have to make sure the colony has enough construction resources, water, oxygen, and power. Alright, let's do this. So this is the overview, and I'm going to pause it because this is going to be quite important in choosing where to start. Oh, it actually says where various materials appear. So, very important, space. So like here, 97% buildable area, fantastic. Here, 45, not great. Here, 13%, pathetic. So we've already scouted this place, so we know that there are at least a couple of metals here. We found a water source and also a concrete source. That's pretty good. So I think what I'd like to do is drop a probe here. So we can see we have an anomaly, we have some more concrete, and I think I'm going to drop another probe here. So that is some more metals. There are no metals here. More concrete and more water. I think we're going to drop a rocket here. So we'll just zoom in, just scroll forwards. We can see where all of the metal is. That's what these things are. We can collect those with the collector robot thing. This is concrete, which we'll need to harvest, and then here we can get water. There's some more water up there, some more concrete, and then this is an anomaly, which we'll need to go and check out with our explorer.